Ka ti tēnā katoa tātou e te iwi, I roto I tēnei pō. Tēnei au te mii atu ki koutou. Me ngā tinia o tango te wā, tai a te pō, tū mai te ao, tū mai tēnei a ia I pō, me ona kōrero me ona wānanga, tēnei kāmi I tēnā koutou. Kia ora tātou. Kia ora everybody, it's Che Wilson here from Che's channel, Te Pai Pai Waho, and yeah, gearing up for Christmas, and as we gear up, mindful of all of the mahi that everybody's doing. So I'm just going to start us up with a little karakia, and then we'll go from there. E tu te mauri e, no runga no rangi nui e tu te mauri e, no raro no papa tua nuku e tu te mauri e, ei oranga mo te tangata e ai. Hui e taikie kia tātou. And that karaki or that tātai is in the tātai book that people have been asking about over the last couple of weeks. And that's the constant tune for most of the tātai, so that you can work it out for yourself. And I've deliberately not tried to dictate how they go, because you've got to find your own rhythm. But I'll be getting so many tono, so I'm probably going to put them up onto YouTube so that you can go from there to check them out. Kāti, we are up to number 4. Yeah, Kauhau session number 4 on Wairuatanga, the seen and unseen, and specifically tonight we're looking at ghost busting. But just want to acknowledge our kōrero last week, where we were looking at external influences, and in particular what's happened is, and one thing I forgot to mention, is what happened is as soon as the other cultures arrived here, and especially from the 1810s onwards, because with the sealers and the whalers here, but from 1814 with Christianity arriving formally with the first service being done on Christmas Day, I think it was, 1814 in the Hokianga. Some of our creation stories even started to change. And there was question around a supreme being, or whether that's something we mirrored from the other cultures. Also, in my own tribal area, there's a bit of a reference to a big flood as part of our creation story. And that may be influenced from the Old Testament as well. So all of those external influences can help to impact and change. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but they can impact and change. In addition to that, the other point to note is that things will continue to change. And as they continue to change, it's important to just be mindful of those influences. And there will be a lot more influences from the East as they become closer to us and engage with us more. So kāti ake, David in Australia from Ngaitau, tēnā koe, Tania Neho from Murihiku, kia ora koe. And I also want to do a mihi to Avis Baker and Rawa Hakopa for your mahi and sharing that you've sent through to me. Keep up the good mahi, tēnā kōrua, and let's get into our kōrero for tonight, which is kaupapa number 4, ghost busting. Who do you want to call? Yeah, Ghostbuster. So many people have experiences with the seen and the unseen. He or hi. And when you have those experiences with the seen and unseen, the seen, it's pretty easy to deal with at one level. Kia ora bro, tēnā koe me te rā mate, ki roto tauranga moana. But the other point is the unseen and or the places that things go to and where you can go to when you're having to deal with kehua, tūpuna, and mana. Why do I say mana? A lot of people just talk about atua, but it's the mana of the atua that we interact with, which is why when you do a welcome speech, i ngā iwi, i ngā reo, i ngā mana, i ngā kārangarangatanga, all of those different types of phrases, it's because you're acknowledging the mana, not only of the person, but of their ancestry and the atua that are with them. And so, just looking at my notes, so I don't ramble too much. There's some basic tips. And the first point to note is you're not bloody crazy. Society, as I've said in the last couple, society make us feel and think that we are crazy. And the first thing they want to do is medicate. And don't get me wrong, there are times where there is a chemical imbalance and people do need to take medication. But 9 times out of 10, what you experience, it's important to know it's real. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So it's important to know that you're not crazy. The other point to note is you have to know who to call out to for help. And there will be tohunga, there will be elders, there will be ministers, there will be a whole range of people that can, matakite and healers, that can help you to, mihi au te tikanua, that can help you navigate these challenges. And as you navigate them, knowing how to connect to those people and how to ask. And the important thing is just to ask. And so find a tohunga, find a matakite, find a healer. Have I frozen? And work through with those people and share the issues. But as you share them, it's important to note that you're not crazy, you're not losing the plot. The other thing is you have to clear your own noise. And as you clear your own noise, you have to find calmness so you can deal with the issue. Because this thing here, the hinengaro, can create some pretty amazing movies that would be blockbusters throughout the world and earn millions and billions of dollars. But that noise can often freak you out and take you to a place when sometimes the experience is trying to communicate to you in a positive way, but your noise is actually taking you to a scary or a nasty or a bad place. When actually, as I've said in the past, the difference between te kā and te whiti in the Moana movie can be that wairu itself. And when in doubt, you can always use the F-bomb. All my elders have always said that when in doubt, you tell them to F off. And yes, that's putting a negative energy against an energy that is unknown. But sometimes when you're in doubt and you don't know what else to do, you use it. You tell them to F off. You can't find someone else to help you, use that. The other point to note is that as you navigate this space, and I've already said this, I think, in the last session, is sometimes, as my kaumatua, you know, one of them, he ended up, after his wife died, he became a Catholic priest. But they were very clear when they said, matua tama wairuatapu can't always clear everything, and sometimes you have to go back to the root source. And so you have to talk to the atua, to the mana that is interacting with you, freaking you out. And it's always important to ask who they are, because if they don't respond, you tell them, Merry Christmas, and go away. And you tell them to go away if they aren't ready and prepared to communicate and let you know who they are and what their purpose is. And so with all of this combined, hopefully this is helping you to get a better understanding that taha wairua is a real thing, and irrespective of culture, it's important to acknowledge it, not be fearful of it, and seek help. And I say it's throughout all cultures, because I know when I went to live in the United Kingdom, one thing my mother said to me is, make sure you do your karakia wherever you go there, because they've made an industry out of ghosts. And the issue with that, from a Māori perspective, is that you don't clear the place and you don't let those wairua go to their next journey, to their next life. And so it's really important. And what we always do is to always share the kōrero and send wairua on its journey to its next world, to its next life. So in closing for tonight, I just want to acknowledge the person who PM'd me yesterday, I think it was, where he had to do a karakia at a tangi. It was only him, he didn't know what to do. So he used some of the stuff that I've been sharing, and he explained why he chose the karakia he used to clear the house and to give the whānau strength after the burial. And I congratulated him because it's the intention. And if you can clear your noise when it comes to ghost busting and use intention to allow that wairua to move on and or work with that wairua so that you might be able to help them, or they might be able to help you, because they might be trying to give you a message that's really important. So it's all about working through that, using intention to then clear at the end of whatever you're doing. So, yeah, who are you going to call? Ghost busting. So, yep, you might want to call it your Ghostbusters and all of that. But it's really important that you always find people in your area that can help you. So, ka te ake, e mihi ana kia koutou. Christmas coming up. Got the first of our whānau that have arrived tonight. And there'll be 40, 50 of us here, and looking forward to the time together. Nā reira, e mihi kauana kia koutou katoa. Meri kri'i mete, me ngā manaakitanga o te wā. And even though the karakia books that I've been sharing are karakia Māori, I celebrate Christmas more so because it's a great time for family. Yep, I'm a cheerleader for karakia Māori, but I still acknowledge karakia from all walks of life, because for me, karakia and Wairuatanga go across boundaries, me ki. Nā reira, kia nui no atu ko te ora ki runga ki koutou, ai a koa ke nei ka I mene te rangi, ka mene te wenua, te nei ka me atu, tuahine maia, te nā koe, te nā koutou, moana, give our girl a big hug, so proud of her getting admitted to the bar, te nā koutou, kia wakaerea ki ngā kupu ki te tā nui, o rangi nui e tui o nei, au mie, ui e, tāi ki e.